Jason first mentioned it while we were folding laundry. Not the documents. Not the accounts. Just his mother. She's old-fashioned, he said, smoothing one of his shirts across the bed. She likes to feel included. It sounded harmless then. Almost tender. A son accommodating a parent. A small adjustment in the name of family harmony. At that stage, everything still wore the soft lighting of engagement. Even inconveniences looked like rituals. Even discomfort could be explained as nerves. His mother began appearing in conversations with increasing frequency, though never as an explicit authority. More like a quiet gravitational force. What do you think Mom would say about the venue? Mom's worried we're rushing. Mom just wants to understand how we'll manage things. Manage things. It was a vague phrase, elastic enough to stretch across budgets, timelines, furniture, expectations. The narrator, though she didn't think of herself that way, noticed the phrasing but dismissed the unease as sensitivity. Every couple negotiates adjustments, she told herself. Every family has dynamics. The shift was gradual, which made it difficult to name. Jason didn't demand, he suggested. He didn't pressure, he reasoned. Transparency, unity, no secrets between family. The words carried the reassuring texture of maturity. Until the evening the requests became specific. They were sitting at the kitchen table. Wedding spreadsheets open. Numbers, guest counts, small logistical frictions. The normal machinery of planning. Jason leaned back in his chair, watching her rather than the screen. Mom asked something, he said. There was a pause, brief, but long enough to register. She just thinks it would help everyone relax if she could see, the basics. The basics. Your apartment paperwork. Car ownership, bank balances. Nothing intrusive. He smiled, as if anticipating resistance he considered unnecessary. Just so she can feel confident about everything. Confident. The word landed differently. For a moment, the room seemed acoustically altered, like sound had thinned. She looked at him, waiting for the familiar hint of irony, the signal that this was a joke stretched too far. None came. She wants photos, he continued gently. It's not distrust, it's reassurance. The discomfort this time didn't dissolve, it settled. Not sharp, not dramatic, just immovable. Something quiet but structural shifted inside her. We're not a family yet, Jason. He blinked, surprised not by the statement but by the tone. Calm. Even. And I'm not going to report to your mother about my property. Silence followed. Not explosive silence. Not hostile. Just the sound of two people realizing they were no longer standing on the same ground. Jason's face tightened slightly, the practiced patience emerging. You're framing this the wrong way. How should I frame it? She's trying to protect us. From what? He exhaled, irritation slipping through restraint. Why are you being defensive? It was a familiar conversational pivot, discomfort reclassified as attitude. She didn't argue. Didn't escalate. Didn't explain. Instead, she nodded once. I'll send documents. Relief softened him immediately, vindication mistaken for resolution. That's all this ever was. But the decision forming in her mind had already detached from his interpretation. Later that night, alone in the living room, she opened her laptop. No anger, no theatrical resolve, just clarity. She contacted a lawyer. The meeting was uneventful in appearance, fluorescent lighting, neutral office, the ordinary choreography of professional consultation. Yet the conversation possessed a steadiness absent from the kitchen table. No one, the lawyer said calmly, reviewing the details, has a legal or financial claim to this information unless you choose to provide it. No emotional undertones, no negotiation, no appeals to tradition, only boundaries articulated as facts. Together, they assembled the documents Jason would receive. Ownership records, asset statements, and something else. A prenuptial agreement. Not punitive, not aggressive, simply precise. Language replacing ambiguity. When Jason opened the files, the reaction arrived in stages. Confusion first, then disbelief. Then something closer to injury. What is this? He asked. A document, she said evenly. You think I'm after your money? I think expectations should be defined. My mother was just trying to. This isn't about your mother. But it was, of course, just not in the way he imagined. Jason paced, agitation growing not from the agreement itself, but from what it represented. Distance, autonomy, a structure he could not emotionally reinterpret. This is insane? It's practical? You don't trust me? I trust clarity. The argument that followed lacked heat. No shouting. No dramatic accusations. Only the slow exposure of incompatible assumptions. Jason didn't rage, he withdrew. Offense calcifying into something colder, the wedding conversations faded. Plans stalled without formal cancellation. Text shortened, calls became infrequent. Until eventually, there was no single ending, just the quiet administrative dissolution of a future that no longer functioned. In the weeks after, she noticed an unexpected absence, not grief, not relief, but noise. The constant, subtle pressure to accommodate something unnamed had vanished. No victory, no celebration. Just space returning to its original dimensions,